there's good reasons out there, because if you can't get in range to actually take down the Ziggs, then you just eliminate it right here. But for some reason, they just have this fear of cats or tigers, whatever you want to call it. So Rengar not available.
I don't know.
Well, SBTC Esports, if they really want to pinpoint something out there, they can start with maybe a Gallo ban or even the ban onto Bigetron's jungle.
I mean, if you were afraid of cats, you would be afraid of Rengar, because he looks like a cat and he's huge. But I don't think that means that Rengar is a cat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, probably not a cat, but our viewers probably will fight you for it. So, like I said, Bigetron Esports banning out these Ziggs. Viewers. So they will go for something a little bit more traditional. Garen has been the staple pick up in the Baron lane, so don't expect SBTC Esports to be able to bully him all too easily, and it's a lot more easy to execute on how you want to start a fight as a Garen as compared to a Malphite, I suppose. And it goes decently well against a Renekton if they were ever to place it over on the Baron lane overall. Now, what I'm loving to see is this Lee Sin coming up online, because TF, he's got some high win ratios on this, and look at the KDs, it does not lie. So expect him to pay a lot of visit towards the bot lane.
I like this from SBTC, because this is them doubling down upon that playstyle that we talked about. They are so good at dominating early games, and there was this really cool poke comp, the siege comp that we saw last game. SBTC this game seems much simpler. This is a composition that looks to teamfight early and blow the game over. Bigetron, on the other hand, I'm equally excited by what we've seen so far. Yes, we're doubling down on the Tristana, but Valp is a little bit... Oh, this is very exciting. Valp is a little bit better of a split pusher, and we have the Twisted Fate that provides credible macro threat during the early game. And tell me about these last two.
Okay, they're picking the Furor right here. You guys must be asking, are they out in mines? Apparently not, because this Furor is going into the jungle. It has been done by Evil's before, and the rate of clearing the entirety of the jungle is at a rapid speed. So I do want to see what this Furor can actually bring to the table. But if you go one-on-one against a Lee Sin, I don't know how that one's going to be faring overall, but we'll just have to check out what happens in the Rift.
Game number 2, SBTC up 1 in this best-of-5 playoff series. Loser goes home, winner goes forward.
Well,
usually it works like that, but I just want to clarify.
And before I even touch about, the rest of the stuff, there is a Fizz that moved right into the mid lane. And I think overall, this is a great matchup to actually fight against Twisted Fate, especially when level 5 hits. You can actually have some of the botters to just drop into this really immobile mid laner. Of course, he will have to depend on the barrier as well as Flash to survive. But if you burn that, that's great news for many of all these other members of SBTC to just dive right in for the Twisted Fate.
So, Twisted Fate is something we've been seeing an awful lot in Europe. This is actually the first time I'm going to do this to you, Contra. I got to cast the Origin series, and I would say overall, you're not missing much. Icon series, much better gameplay. But one of the best teams in Europe, Trovo Nova, run a really cool composition around Poseidon, who's their mid laner, where he will hit level 5 on Twisted Fate and just instantly TP to top lane. So I would be really interested to see that sort of play come out here from Henrik.
Yeah, I
Meantime, we do have a threat down here in the bottom lane. Double Taunt will be found on the engage, and SBTC are already leveraging their early game. Dua dives in to try and find revenge, but cannot do so, and it's 2 kills over to SBTC.
Oh, that was massive for SBTC, and they managed to burn both of their summoner spells on Dewa as well as Harry. So the next time coming for TF to just pay another visit is going to be a lot easier for them to pick up those kills. And going back to your point where this Twisted Fate 2 could potentially set things up nicely over on the Baron lane, I definitely see the idea coming to effect, especially when you have a Garen overall that can have this execution move with the Dash and Justice. So it's something that they can rely on, but time after time, getting picked off once again. It's 3-0 for SBTC.
Akano opening up a second play down bottom there. Support Galio so good if you're willing to be that kind of aggressive. One of the downsides of support Galio you're also seeing here, which is that Galio has picked up 2 of the kills so far. 2 of the 3 kills in the game. Which isn't great. That's not optimal, but I don't know, live with it, AD carry mains.
Yeah, I guess it's not too shabby. 1 kill for the Lee Sin who needs his Guardian Angel so that he plays a little bit more aggressively. Well, Kaisa gets a little bit of, you know, a spare change, which isn't too bad, but Kevin is hit.
Gold card ready, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't even get to cast it. There's so much early game dive from SBTC. They're now up 4 kills in the first 3 minutes. That is devastating.
I'm sorry to lose words of what I can actually make out of this game because members from each side of the lane are put behind. The only member that's pretty much left untouched here is going to be Falp1, while Control is chasing on this Renekton, which he could easily just move away with the slice and dice. So high priority coming in for SBTC Esports to secure the very first Drake as the mountain spawns, and they are already having Kuro tapping onto the Drake. Well, BTR, I don't think they're quick enough to actually set things up, and Venus, you still have Dominus here to outlast some of these trades.
Ooh, heroic entrance. What do? Destiny in, gold card lands. They don't get anything. Bigetron try to counter push the opposite side of the map, trade turret for Drake. But for the second game in a row, SBTC read them like a book and demolish them. SBTC are going to get the Drake. They're going to get a turret down bottom the first of the game. SBTC might even get another kill here in mid, though Henry finds a gold card, and finally something goes back Bigetron's way. This is wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Julie kind of gave that one for free, though. Like, just not really estimating his damage output well enough. And he's only have, like, what, a Rabadon on step cap, maybe Lich Bane gives you a little bit better of burst because you're not getting any amplification of your AP output other than, you know, the basic stats that the Rabadons provide. So I'm not too certain. Is that 1 kill gonna be changing the course of the game? No, not at all. And speaking of which,
another engage from Akano. Using that Righteous Glory just to speed boost into people. Who needs Flash Taunt? You've got Speed Boost, Righteous Glory, Speed Boost, Taunt.
This is absolutely getting out of hand overall for Bigetron Esports, but Falp, I guess what he could salvage is to break in the bot side of the turret. And here comes Henry, though. He's waiting for the gold card now. He's getting stunned as well, but they should be able to get this in back.
There's backup. Akano comes in. 2v3. I don't think Bigetron win this. They agree. Bigetron back away from the 2v3, and I think they're right to. At least until Minas' Dominus fades, but you can't wait that long, so Bigetron just get nothing. They do find the turret, so it's a little bit of gold over, but still 6,000 gold on the map to SBTC, and going to get worse, as your first Globe Rift Herald charge is going to be picked up by SBTC.
And members of the side of Bigetron Infinity understand that they do not have the potential to contest just about yet. So, like I said, Globe Herald will be in the hands of SBTC absolutely for free. SBTC also controls the upper portion of the Bigetron jungle. So, Gromp is already being taken by TF. Not that he actually needs to worry about, you know, goal overall, but look at the builds. Control finally finishes his first item on the Trinity first, but yet to even work on those boots. So, you know, it's going to be pretty hard for this Furor to even chase enemies down or to lower their health bars if that's pretty much the case.
Engage here in the mid lane as Falp steps to the fore. Akano is defending a TP in from Minas. Minas immediately out to the TP. Will be able to contribute to the kill, and Falp just dies. SBTC will find another. And this, of course, begins to set up for this Drake. as the Vietnamese team are making a statement here in playoffs.
Well, SBTC definitely have no holds barred at all. Just looking at the items as well once again. It seems like Hero doesn't really have to worry about, getting the status enchantment or the QSS. Bigetron is just holding all the way back, just like how they did back in the first game. Now waiting for everybody to come right across, as felt it's a little bit too late to charge through the members out there. Well, Henry seems to be doing all the heavy lifting here by taking down the second turret for Bigetron Esports. So they can start to work with the upcoming Drake in the form of Cloud.
Bigetron are going to try and fight for this Drake. There's no Twisted Fate TP available, no Destiny, so this is a player advantage to SBTC, and they're going to go for it. As a result, Monsoon will be deployed. Akano with the heroic entrance stalls out the fight, and Kirol just chips away. Low HP bars over on the Bigetron side as they step back up. 5v5 now, everyone has joined the fight.
Yeah, but the waves are all crashing in as well. They have to juggle that before they get themselves anywhere near that Drake pit. So overall, I guess if the Dewa could possibly get a good pick off right here, but they just managed to lower down some HP bars off, but Drake is already in contest.
Taunt. That was such a good taunt. Akano is playing such a good game. SBTC get another Drake, and there's just no way for Bigetron to contest. They're watching in the window, Contra. Their faces pressed up against the glass as yet another Drake goes over to SBTC. Here is that Rift Herald. What a good taunt again from Akano. As Control steps too far forward, it dies as a result. There's now not enough defenders. This game may be over. This mid turret's gonna get slaughtered. It's a charge kick in from TF. He'll find the kill and the turret. They get both. That's the Garen. That was the Garen getting burned down. SBTC are running away with their second game in a row in this best of 5.
They're getting away with everything, and yet there was no punishment whatsoever coming from Bigetron Esports. I'm starting to think that this is just too much of a respect being given to the likes of SBTC Esports from the start of the game all the way up till now. It's already 10 minutes in. Now you see this 9,000 gold deficit that they're suffering here, and I don't see a way that they can even get to that third item before this game ends, because SBTC, they can easily go in for the Baron right here, and probably they may not even be losing all too much when they go into the trade. They definitely have the upper hand. While halfway through the build, we're seeing this Lee Sin going for Trinity Force, and we do have a little bit of a skirmish going on inside the jungle forest, like temporary moment. There we go.
Oh! What a taunt! Akano does it again! He taunts everyone! They're all dead! SBTC are gonna clean up another double kill to 2 different players. It's gonna be a complete ace. I don't believe it in Oppo team ace. That's gonna be the game. SBTC, absolutely monstrous here in playoffs, are gonna break down the inhibitor turrets and march towards the Nexus. There will be respawns, but I feel the only real question is whether or not SBTC want to end now. They're going to take their time, dot their I's, cross their T's, enjoy the winning game.
Yeah, I guess they're just going to be letting Bigetron suffer for a tad bit. It does help in the momentum of the next game as well, just to see how dominant this SBTC side is. Now they're trying to go for a recall, while Control alongside with Valve will be able to stop them on their tracks for just a tad bit.
That's just tilt. Valve's not going to get that kill any day of the week.
Not looking good at all. Like, just looking at his track record. Back when he was playing that Malphite, it was also with Ultra record. You don't want to end on that note. Well, they're trying to set up this Death Rush camp, but it's not going to be any members of SBTC to fall for it for the moment. I believe that the Morello is being worked on as well, coming in for the Fizz. And that will be, unnecessary, because Harry's probably not going to be able to soak. And here comes Akano again!
Wow. Again from Akano, another taunt, and Julie goes in, backed up by the heroic entrance. 3 players are knocked up. Akano's doing so much work. Here comes Venus round the side for the flank they need to close out the take of this tier 2 in the top side. SBTC may go for this Baron. They're that kind of team, but I really don't think they need it.
Not at all. Just
They
look at the
will
waves
charge.
crashing in. Like, every single direction, they're being swarmed by super mutants eventually. And the top turret is looking to be a little bit brittle, but why not, you know, add some extra flat power on there just to close up the game. And if they want to boost up their stats, they can do so. Get the Elder alongside. Why not?
And
15 to 1.
SBTC, this is really interesting to see from SBTC because, again, they got out of their group kind of staggered. You know, Team Secret took them very, very late. EVOS absolutely demolished them both times they faced. So we were kind of wondering, SBTC, how good are they? The first seed out of the Vietnam region, their counterpart, the second seed out of the Vietnam region, was doing much better. Maybe what we should take from the group stage performance is just how good EVOS are. Maybe that's the lesson to learn as SBTC come here into playoffs and absolutely shatter.
Yeah, just overall, the first seed of the Vietnamese region just looking to dominate this best of 5. And now they're looking to close this game out by securing a few more kills. And now challenging for that match point.
SBTC, 2 games up now. I blinked and I missed it. They need one more to close this best of 5 and advance forward in playoffs. If I'm being honest, this is hard for me to judge because, yes, SBTC look dominant, and I can't tell whether or not it is the same level of play they brought to groups. They got bodied by EVOS in groups, and they were playing at this same level of play, or if they've leveled up. Because that poke comp they ran game 1 looks genuinely like some of the sickest map play, team play, comp play we've seen in this tournament so far. So I'm really eager to see SBTC continue this kind of form. If they can close out this series, if they can advance, they are a team to watch.
Indeed, and we saw how they were struggling in their respective group. There was Team Secret as well as EVOS Esports in particular. So that itself has been quite the challenge in Group A. But when SBTC put in the hard work to study, it's a little bit of both points that you've mentioned. They did level up, and you saw every lane was a winning lane overall.